And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverETuk UK. I hope everyone's doing really well. My God, has a lot happened over the last few days. I've been seriously busy setting up for crop circles. We went to Sutton Vini. We conquered despite having all the technical difficulties that we had. And I'll get into that in a little while. But in a nutshell, Nathan turned up. He tried to set his night vision camera up. He thought he hit record and everything was all dandy, right? He had the bait light out there and everything. But by the morning, there was nothing there. Nothing there for him to go back to. No files. So we're just scratching our heads. Also, yesterday morning, it was so hot during the day yesterday. I was like, I can't take the radio detector out there because I need the battery pack with it, right? It was just baking hot. So I thought I'll wait till first light tomorrow morning and we'll crack on and try and get a radio hit, right? Turns out, first light was really, really hot as well. So I gave it 20 minutes. And in that 20 minutes, I got some kind of, I don't know what it was, right? There's something wrong with the audio. Whether I'm not too sure, but I did 3 videos inside the crop circle yesterday morning. We captured UAP, but the audio is just gone. It's not gone. You can kind of hear us talking, but it's not really, you can't really make out what we're saying. So apologies, I will put it out and I'll obviously do my edits and show you guys the UAP. We also captured something fantastic, guys, and big shout out to Debs, because I've only seen these objects in the South Americas, sort of Argentina, Brazil, Peru, other kind of areas like that. And let me know in the comments if you filmed anything like this in the UK. I know, in fact, I know Karen has shown me some stuff that she's filmed that's very similar to this. But for us, for me, for Debs personally, this is the first time that we captured anything like this. I'll show you guys right now, just one picture, a little teaser for tomorrow. And we caught some really, really good hockey pucks, guys. Really, really good. Sent them to the farmer. Farmer's absolutely lost his head over it because it's the real deal, right? What I'm showing him there, I can't explain. He can't explain it. He don't know what they are, and he knows his land. So does Kate. She knows the land. And yeah, so exciting times, guys. There is more good news coming about. I'll let you guys know probably tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what that is. But got to speak to the farmers first. Anyway, let's get on to the BUGA sphere because UAP Watchers has been on it like a car bonnet. So is James K. Johnson and Wixie. So I'm going to get into some of this. And then I did promise you guys that we would look at that hockey puck with the potential beings inside that I took the other day, right? So I will show that video at the end. But James K. Johnson puts this post out replying to UAP Watchers. Things like this are usually instantly confiscated and never see the light of day. Makes me wonder if this was allowed to be acquired. Fascinating nevertheless. This was posted 20 hours ago, and I read this and thought, you know what? You're right there, buddy. I mean, like, it's great. It's really, really good that the public's managed to get hold of this sphere and they put it in the right hands. Because if this went anywhere near any governments, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know details, and if we did, we'd be questioning it, right? Because it would be coming from them. So happy flipping days, and maybe this is why we should wake people up, folks. Maybe if enough cameras go in the skies, if awareness rises, maybe we'll find something. You know, maybe someone will capture something that will just be completely wowzers. I mean, not that you guys don't, but you know, like something amazing like this, right? So, fair point. Let's have a listen to what's said. I feel like this is, yeah, it's translated, so from Mexican to English. Let's have a listen.
Was spinning on an axis of rotation that is exact, and it comes out aligned like that. When I saw it levitating and I was watching with Jaime, I said to him, hey, where on earth does this thing get the energy to fly, right? But then my area consists of when we go to the laboratory a few days ago, although there were already some scientists here making measurements, very good measurements, excellent, by the way. They even discovered within it that there is a composition of 2 very important phases. Those compositions are clearly defined and then also possess and have their own specific and distinct densities. Here they are. There are 2 very important things at the core. One thing is the darker brown part and the other is the purple part. And yes, that has 3 centimeters thick and it is aluminum because it was also classified as such. Except this, there is no classification parameter. They did not find it in their bookstores, and it is an institute that studies metallurgy. I mean, so we said, well then, what's inside? The way to test it was, this point you see here lines up with a point underneath, and if you match them, that's the axis of rotation, basically the exact center of the sphere. However, it would indeed turn while gyrating perfectly. What we did was mark a point every 3 centimeters by forming an imaginary meridian because we reached the equator. And we go to the other pole, the chip, or what claims to be a chip, or what seems to be a chip because it has pins. Well, it is the zenith of the sphere. We did it in several places, and what we did was take our density gauge or calibrator with a specific measurement, and we checked. We checked the density of the metal, but we went further in and saw that there was a much lower density than what was here. And that density is very homogeneous throughout the sphere. But when we applied a strong magnet, it was no longer the same density. It was changing, and then I took the precaution of measuring a point here and moving the magnet and saw that the density was shifting. It means then that the magnetic field I am introducing is moving something in here, right on the inside.
Yeah, I saw that moving there. Wow, that's amazing. So something's moving on the inside, and that was actually making the ball, the BUGA sphere move. As he was pushing the magnet, he was creating a force to make it rock a little bit. That's phenomenal stuff. So I'm on the fence with the whole fact that, it looks like a kid's done this work, because the lines are a little bit wonky, right? Does look a little bit off. It also looks quite complicated in detail. I mean, what is that in the middle? What's going on there? Like, I feel like this thing should fit into something, and these pins there would turn something on. I feel like that's, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on the BUGA sphere, guys. Fascinating stuff. Anyway, rolling on from this, Skywatcher Signal has just put this post up. Well, it was done yesterday, actually, at UAP Watchers. I'll read it out to you guys. Something historic has just happened in Colombia. An object was recovered, a metallic sphere that defies explanation. Now it's at the centre of international investigation involving the US Congressman, scientist, and physicist, and Dr. Stephen Greer, scientist as well. Let's dig in. So, comment number 2. The object called the BUGA sphere was discovered by a local metal detectorist, Don Jose. At first, it weighed 2 kilograms, then 6 kilograms, then 10 kilograms. The same object, no external changes and weight fluctuations recorded live. What kind of material behaves like this? Hold the phone. So, this thing changed weight 4 kilograms at a time, 2, 6 and 10. And it was recorded live. What the hell? What's going on there? Is it adjusting to its environment or something? That's madness. Okay, number 3, let's move on. That's mind-blowing. The sphere doesn't emit radiation, but it does mess with electronics. It's funny you say that, because I had something messing with my electronics yesterday. People near it reported metallic taste, nausea, and phones going haywire. David Valez wore an anti-static suit just to touch it. So anti-static, all that means is anything that generates kind of static. Like if you're wiping down a material like a vinyl and you've got a static brush would take away that static electricity just like a static suit would. So I'm guessing that's what that is. Not exactly your average scrap metal. Have to agree with you, Skywatch Signal, it's not your average metal for sure. A second sphere showed up in Jumbo, Colombia, caught on camera by a separate witness. Same shape, movement and equatorial line. Italy's top UAP analyst reviewed the footage. The metadata was untouched. It wasn't CGI, it's real. And that was my first assessment, folks. When I first saw the first video, saw the second video, link the Dragon UAP to the video, that's a big one, folks. I deemed it real, and I took a back seat and I just let it all unfold. And this is what's unfolded so far, guys, right? I don't always report straight away on things because I like to be conserved, sit back and wait for scientists to do their thing. Now they're doing their thing. This is remarkable, right? Absolutely remarkable stuff. I'm going to do my best to try and understand it, despite not having a scientist head on me. Just a logical one. And logic doesn't always go well with scientists, okay? So, inside the BUGA sphere, scientists discovered fused polymers, optical fibre strands, glass plus zinc. Okay, this is fibre optics, guys. This is what we use in your broadband across all the houses in the UK, or most of them except this bloody block. I used to work for a fibre optic company, not do the installation, I used to do the sales side of it, but I knew the process and I've seen fibre optics, right? And this is basically, I think this came about in the late 90s. It was rolled out to the public here in the UK in the late 90s, and it's been around ever since. And it was when technology started booming, folks. It was when the internet became really, really useful for a lot of people, and it was down to this quick connectivity. So, No screws, welds or seams. Absolutely. Now, people mentioned about the holes looking a little bit, again, kiddish, right? Like someone's just drilled holes through. But apart from that, there are no screws, no welds, no seams, nothing. It's just a sphere with something inside it. And it's perfectly made because you can't see any seams or anything, right? So it's fascinating, right? Fascinating that it could be sealed up like that. Dual metal layers with different densities, absolutely. And one of those metals inside were moving with the magnet. Okay, so it was moving something loose inside. Really fascinating. Electromagnetic fields that change depending on environment. Again, it's an environmental thing. Does that mean the weight changed based on its environment as well? Who knows, guys? When UNAM scientists, Mexico's top university, studied it, they found fiber optic-like components embedded in the shell, temperature and magnetic properties that shift during testing. This isn't just a hollow shell, it's built with intention. The question is for what? And that is the big question. What's it monitoring? What are they doing? And I've got bigger questions as well. What are the recon vehicles doing? Why are there so many? What are the sources doing? Who's manning them? Who's manning the smaller vehicles? I've got so many questions. But looking at the BUGA sphere, maybe, just maybe, we'll figure some stuff out. We need to. Dr. Stephen Greer is now involved. Of course he is. Of course he's involved. This is legit stuff. So is US Congressman Eric Burleson, alongside Danny Sheehan, Pentagon whistleblower attorney. Yep, they're treating this like as a non-human technology recovery, and they're not mincing their words. I have to agree with you as well. They're not mincing their words. They obviously want to be all over this, right? Because this is something that's been handed to scientists by the public. And I hope this kickstarts public awareness and public evidence, guys. It needs to be looked at. I'm sorry, everything that is shown to us should not just come from the military. It should come from legit people, the people that just work the 9 to 5, right? That are just trying to learn about this. That's what my platform is all about. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to push public disclosure. So I'm glad this is in the public eye, and we should definitely back whatever they're doing, folks, regarding this. Number 8, Greer says this sphere resembles objects stored in the US black sites. Some are used in covert propulsion experiments. Some allegedly move using electronic principles, manipulating gravity and electrical charge. The same signs the BUGA sphere exhibits, and the same signs the Dragon UAP exhibit as well. Electrogravitic principles manipulating gravity with electrical charge. Electrical charge being plasma, folks. That white shoot you're seeing, that's plasma. That's an electrical charge. So I'm totally on board, mate. Totally on board. I feel like all of these objects, whether they're triangles, cubes, tic-tacs, dragons, spheres, they all use similar technology. This is what we need to get our head around, guys. Number 9, the surface of the object responds to heat. Place it near something warm and it heats up like it's absorbing and reacting thermal radiation. But it doesn't radiate it back how you would expect. It's not just metal, it's engineered. Mate, engineered how? How can an orb do this? We need to find out the inside workings, right? And do more research, because the stuff this thing can do is amazing. And for a kid's toy, it's fascinating, right? I can't believe it. So yeah, look, guys, absolutely fantastic stuff. There is no known weapons or consumer devices that match the internal structure of the BUGA sphere. The man who found it now lives in fear. Since retrieving the BUGA sphere, government agents and researchers have been hounding him. He just wanted to go metal detecting. Exactly. And this is why we need to push back a little bit, guys. Public disclosure is so much bigger and so much more important than what these guys are portraying. And look, you'll see that for those that have been watching the channel, you guys know that I used to show quite a few clips from News Nation, yeah, Jeremy Corbell, Jake Barber, all that stuff, all that whole crew, even Danny Sheehan, Stephen Greer, right? But honestly, I don't know who to trust. It's simple as that. I don't know who to trust, and I don't know if they already know that this is going to get rolled out and they're just going to rake it all in before it gets rolled out. I don't know. I feel like Stephen Greer's put the years and time in, right? He has. He's done the research. He's networked with more than enough people. He's built himself an establishment, an organisation, and he's rolling with it. Fine. I'm still like, this is why it's got to come from the public, guys. This is why it's got to come from us, honestly. Until someone says something definitively within government and we can start trusting them, I can't see. No one can trust anything the government have got to say. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. What would make you trust any government regarding this topic? What would it take? Anyway, interesting question. Number 11. If this turns out to be recovered UAP probe, it could be autonomous, sensor-equipped, part of a larger swarm, a monitoring device, or even a seeding mechanism. Remember, it fell from the sky. Well, that's all we know, isn't it? That it's come from the sky. I don't know, is my answer to that. We don't really know, do we? We saw it in the sky, it fell out of the sky, and that's all we know. But it could have come out from a volcano. It could have come from the ocean. There's nothing to say it's come from space yet, right? So it could be from the Earth. Who knows? Maybe we'll find it out. We'll figure this out, right? But pouring water on it, it just evaporates the water. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out what would happen if we poured like magma on it? Something like that. What would happen, folks? That's the question. Number 12. This isn't just another lights in the sky story. The Bugosphere is different because it's actual hardware. It is, and it's actually in the public's hands. It's been analysed, measured, and documented. International experts are calling it anomalous. You know what? 100%, man. We got nothing like that. The Colombian government is strangely silent, but independent labs are stepping in. There's talk of carbon dating and internal polymer and scanning for isotope anomalies. Greer says this is just the beginning. Fantastic. They're not going to be able to stop people. They're not. We just have to keep it hidden from all those that are trying to steal it. And we're going to get into that in a minute. This story is still developing, but one thing's clear. The Bugosphere has changed the game. From Colombia, the global headlines, we may be looking at the real evidence of non-human technology. Stay tuned. This one is not going away. And finally, I'll be posting further breakdowns of forensic scans, the fibre optic discoveries and the electromagnetic anomalies recording around the site. Follow at UAP Watchers to keep up. We are watching history unfold in real time. Retweet, wake up the world. Absolutely. I've already done the retweet. So anyway, guys, I like what Jay's saying here. I totally agree with him. I know for a lot of people some of that goes right over their heads, okay? But the ultimate goal here is to get scientists to look at this stuff. And this is what I'm trying to do as well. I'm trying to get scientists to look at these Dragon UAP and take them more seriously because they are everywhere, folks. Okay, next up, we've got Chupacabra. Breaking. Men disguised as police have attempted to steal the Bugosphere, according to Dr. Stephen Greer. The situation is developing, and this is what I said we're going to go back to, folks. It seems like the only way to get this out of the public's eye is to steal it. And sure enough, this is what's been happening. 12 hours ago this was posted. Let's have a listen to what Stephen Greer's got to say.
Everyone, this is Dr. Stephen Greer. I'm in Mexico City. As many of you know, we've been examining the Bugosphere for the last 2 days with Congressman Burleson and a group of scientists. We've just been notified by Jaime Maussan that there was an attempt by fake policemen to enter the vault where this Bugosphere is stored, and we have notified security in the apparatus I'm working with under law enforcement. And you should know that the other risk here is that we have taken specific samples from the Bugosphere that will be tested in a state-of-the-art lab to prove whether or not the metal, as well as some of the other components, are of Earth or outer space origin. Those scientists' information have been provided to the top law enforcement and security apparatus that I'm working with, and so any sort of attempts to interfere with this examination will be known, and the people and perpetrators will be held to account for. So this is what I wanted people to know, and we're doing everything to set up security for this. Thank you.
Well. This is why I like Stephen Greer. You know, he's trying to protect what's there. He didn't always work favourably with Jaime Maussan. Remember when the Nazca mummies come about and he was like, nah, fake, we're not going in. No one wanted to go and see them, and I was really like then questioning the Americans. In all honesty, I was questioning our guys over in our universities. Why the hell wouldn't they want to go? But now look, the tables have changed somehow. You know, he now wants to know Jamie. He wants to know. He now wants to work with him, and maybe, just maybe, he'll take a turn on the Nazca mummies as well, guys. We're done with that. I'm going to quickly move on to this, and then we're going to look at the footage I took the other day regarding that object, that UAP, which is really hard to really see, to be honest with you. The original file that I still have, it looked clear as day, but once I've uploaded, I've already checked it, it's not as clear as it once was. But I'm going to put it out. There's lots of the captures that we're going to look at. But first, check this out. So we went back to Sutton-Venie, came back yesterday afternoon, and these are some of the captures we got. So Debs nailed it, absolutely smashed the donkey out of it with this one, and also another one which I'm going to show you on tomorrow's video. Just a still shot. There's not too well, I say there's no point recording the skies at night on a phone. There probably is, you know, as long as there's still some light, as long as it's a clear night, there probably is, guys. Look at this, fantastic. But it was just a photo. She took a couple of them. It was about 2:30 in the morning, something like that. Crazy time. I didn't know about it. She didn't know about it until the next morning when we started checking over the footage. And I was absolutely gobsmacked. Well done, Debs. We also captured some really cool stuff during the day as well. Check that out, coming out of the crop there. And we've got more, folks. I'm just showing you the worst of it, honestly. This object's really interesting because it looks like a fly really close to the lens there, right? I actually think it's just a puck here emitting lots of plasma, and because of it's going so fast, it's looking like it's elongated, but I don't think it is. I think if that's the whole object, then that's quite possibly a fly, you know, just moving very, very fast. But the white plasma, the speed, the haziness of it all, it just reminds me of our hockey puck UAP. That's why I picked it out, folks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. There are far more that I've captured, and boy oh boy, they are so clear. One of them comes across the pathway before I even get to the crop circle and says hello to me. So yeah, I can't wait to show you guys. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, let's get straight into that video. Yeah, so here's this video. I took this a few days ago, just on the field beyond the tree line field. So you've got my tree line, which is 200 yards away, and then you've got a field, and then you've got beyond there is another field, and that's where we were. And I just want to try and figure out where these UAP were, and if they're just crossing the whole vastness of the land back there, and they are. I did suspect that. So this is just a screenshot enhancement, AI enhancement using Pickwish of one of the objects that I captured, and it's open to interpretation, but again, it looks like we've got something in there, potentially pilots or something else. I don't know, maybe it's a mechanism and the shape of them are just resembling like bodies and stuff. I don't know. Kind of looks like there's a head up here and then maybe a body and short legs. Again, we're seeing this quite a lot. Small head, body, maybe, who knows. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but yeah, let's take a look at the video. So there's a lot going on here, folks, and I'm just going to play it. I've done the edits already. So this is right at the start, and again, a lot of these do look like flies. I ain't going to lie. Most of this stuff that we're seeing going across the screen, they are flies. But if you look closely, specifically in the background, there are a lot of objects that are just moving in straight lines incredibly fast. And they are a lot further away than the ones that are a bit closer. Flies typically are very random. You'll see them just going like all over the place, and there's no real strategic movement to them or purpose to what they're doing. But the UAP are different. They're so fast, direct, to the point, and they've got this weird, strange looking plasma that just seemingly appears around the object in different ways. It's not your typical flappy wings that I would expect to see, you know, the vibrating wings that kind of look like that, but you'd see them like this. You wouldn't see it like you see it perfectly because it would take more frames per second in order to capture that. But these objects are seemingly gliding to a degree. A lot of them, they're really fast. It is the same objects that give us the radio hits as well, folks. Not all of them, but you know, on occasion we do get radio hits. So I'll be taking my radio detector out with me a little bit more now I've got a battery pack that can power it. So yeah, you can see the enhancement, the edits that I've done. You can see they're the ones that I feel are probably more likely UAP, and there's just lots of them, guys. You know, this field is busy, really, really busy, and that's why I'm seeing them over my tree line. It's really important that we understand why they are appearing across certain land. This object here, this one is the one that I can't work out, folks. I just can't work that out. I've captured the same thing outside my window here. It's not a bird. You can see the shape of it. It's got like a thing going on at the front, and then the wings come out, or whatever it is, a plasma, it comes out behind. It's just strange. I don't know what it is. Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen anything like that before, but that one came from back of the trees there, and bizarre. And we get another one in a minute on the right hand side that comes from the back of the trees, and that's quite far away, guys. Here we go. Comes from like right here. There it is. And it does a crisscross. We see that time and time again where it crisscrosses with another UAP, and off it goes. It's absolutely phenomenal. And that was from behind that tree. I don't know how many yards that is, maybe 300, 350 yards away, so it's a long way. There you go. Lovely puck. So all of these other ones, they're flies, and this is like, it's so hard to determine what is what. But you know, you've got to look at the speed, the shape. You know, I don't know what they're doing up there. I don't know whether they're tagging the bugs. There goes another one. Crisscross again. Boom. Happens all the time. I've been saying this for like 10 months with the whole crisscross thing. It's happening all the time, folks. So, I mean, you could argue and say these bugs are crisscrossing, but they don't look like hockey pucks like the ones that we're just seeing now. Look at that. Stupidly fast. I've not done all the slowdowns, folks. I want you guys to see what these things look like in real time as well. It's really important. It trains the eye, you see. But look at that. Phenomenal. And we're coming up now to the one where we kind of get to see inside it a little bit, and it is a good capture. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. All the big ones, folks, that are just zipping way too fast. This is a high activity area, this, I tell you. There it is. There you go. There's the shot. It's hard to see on a small screen. You need to put it up on a bigger screen. If you go through that one there, frame by frame, you'll see what I mean. You can just about see inside it. Uploading it seems to have changed the quality slightly. On the pure file, you can see it clearer. It's like got a middle part, just like what Andrew caught in Cambridgeshire and what other people have captured. You know, just had that one moment where we could see inside. And yeah, really, this is going to be a controversial video. And for anyone who's like, look, they're all flies, I get it. You just need to do your research a little bit more and come back to me, because these things are way too fast. They're giving off the K band, the X band radio hits using a car radio detector. And if these are flies and the ones that have the radio detection are UAP, then they're identical, and we've got an issue. You know, it's mimicry, right? So we've got to look at it. I feel like these puppies are just flying over certain parts of land, certain areas, and being where I am, they're just everywhere. You know, they're just everywhere, folks. Major. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on that one. I appreciate it's not as clear on the file, that once it's uploaded it doesn't seem to be as clear as it was in the original file, which I've still got, by the way. But yeah, let me know. What I will do, I was thinking to upload it to Facebook, but again, we'll lose quality through the Facebook player, and the same on X as well, would lose quality there. It's a long 5-minute video. I could snip it out, but it is what it is, guys. So hopefully you did capture what I wanted to show. It is really difficult, I appreciate that, but the whole thing is difficult to accept, right? Unless you've done the research, you're either on board or you're on the fence. And for those that are on the fence, please watch the video I'm going to put at the end of this one. It just goes you all the details as to all the evidence that we know so far. I still know a little bit more that I haven't really put out there yet or recently, because it's like, whew, I don't want to go too far ahead of myself. I want everyone to catch up, recognise what these things are, which are unknowns, and then we can delve into all the hard evidence, which I do have sat there waiting to show you guys. But things like predetermined spots in the sky that they're going to, I think it's all predetermined. I've got evidence to back that up. Energy pockets in the sky, all that stuff. We've got to look at it in more detail. Thank you so much, folks. Keep the cameras in the sky. I'm loving the emails that are coming in. And guys, don't be deterred if I'm not showing all the evidence, okay? They are UAP in my opinion, but we need the gold. We've stepped it up a little bit. Things are picking up around the world. We need the big evidence, and the hockey pucks, the small ones, just aren't going to cut it anymore. We need people to zoom in. We need people to get these captures. We need people to capture things that these things are flying with. We need to start retrieving stuff. So it's all about just opening the mind to the opportunity that maybe one day we can, folks. And with that said, like and subscribe to the channel as always. Support disclosure, public disclosure more importantly. Support the evidence, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.